Los Angeles is, of course, on fire. You don't need me to tell you that. You're already paying attention to the news. So I'm not going to be covering it a whole lot today. On this episode of the J.D. Rucker Show, you can get that elsewhere. But I do want to pose just a few comments before we get started with the show. Number one, I'm not that guy that just jumps in and says, oh, it's political, blame the Democrats, blame the uniparty swamp. Not for everything, but in this case, the more that we learn about the circumstances surrounding Los Angeles' ability to fight fires, the more we realize that this really is a political issue. Whether it's Karen Bass, the mayor, who I've said some nice things about. I thought that she would have been a better choice for Joe Biden to have as his running mate back in 2020. Well, it turns out that maybe she is as incompetent or possibly even more incompetent than Kamala Harris, if such a thing can even be imagined. She is horrible, and the policies that she's put into place in Los Angeles have been very destructive, including the fact that she pulled millions of dollars from funding for firefighters. I think it was like $17.1 million from firefighter funding. Now, if you're going to fund, as they do, if you're going to fund all these woke causes, don't take it away from the people that can save lives, the people that can save property, the people that are supposed to be defending a city such as Los Angeles from events such as what's happening now. And it's not like we didn't see this coming. Los Angeles has always been in an area where fire could come through. It's happened to the cities and towns across California. Every year that I've lived here, we've had some major fire every single year. So why would Democrats choose to go woke at the detriment of their ability to fight fires? Then, of course, we have the DEI, the diversity hire, as the chief of police for Los Angeles. And so far, I'm not going to sit here and blame, oh, it's all the firefighters' fault. They had a lot of challenges facing them from the beginning. This isn't an easy fire to put out, an easy fire to contain. And they have faced tremendous uphill battles, battling the wind, battling traffic. Los Angeles traffic, this is one of the reasons that I very rarely go into Los Angeles unless I absolutely have to. And that's because of the traffic. And that is definitely posing a very, very difficult challenge to overcome. But arguably, the thing that made me decide, you know what, I am going to talk at least a little bit about the fire. It was an attempt to interview Karen Bass, Mayor Karen Bass, by Sky News. They were apparently on the plane, or at least at the airport when Karen Bass arrived from her vacation in Africa. She arrived, and they started asking her questions, and her responses were very telling.
Do you owe citizens an apology for being absent while their homes were burning? Do you regret cutting the fire department budget by millions of dollars, Madam Mayor? Have you nothing to say today?
Can you back up? Appreciate it.
Have you absolutely nothing to say to the citizens today? Elon Musk says that you're utterly incompetent. Are you considering your position? Madam Mayor, have you absolutely nothing to say to the citizens today who are dealing with this disaster? No apology for them? Do you think you should have been visiting Ghana while this was unfolding back home? Madam Mayor, let me ask you just again, have you anything to say to the citizens today as you return?
No. They're gonna come.
Ma'am, hold on 1 second.
Madam Mayor, just a few words for the citizens today as you return to deal with the catastrophe.
Can you take this down?
David, as you said...
No, she was not very forthcoming at all. Like I said, I'm not one that just jumps in and anytime there's a disaster, you got to blame the Democrats or the uniparty swamp or whoever. That's the tactic of the left. They like to say, oh my gosh, look at this, it's climate change, even though it definitely wasn't. Oh, look at this, it's definitely racism, and then it turns out to be a hoax. They like to jump on things and get political about everything. Oh, look, we need more gun laws, even though the gun laws were already in place to prevent whatever gun incident there was. This happens over and over again. But in this case, I'm going to make it political because it really is. I think it is a safe assumption, based upon everything that we now know, that this fire, the damage, everything that's been happening could have been at the very least mitigated to some extent, if not prevented altogether, had Democrats not been in charge. The people of California need to learn, the people of Los Angeles need to learn that Democrat policies invariably fail. Let's spread the truth together. You can connect with me on X at JD Rucker, or you could subscribe to my Rumble channel, jdrucker.com/rumble, jdrucker.com/rumble.